1st, we're starting the month off with a really nice solid win on some SPY put options. This is actually a day trade that turned into a swing trade. I still have some of this position. I'm holding it overnight. I did not trade the morning today. I wasn't there for the morning, but came back in here in the afternoon and took advantage of some tariff news. Trump announced at around 1:30 this afternoon that starting on September 1st, he's going to be increasing tariffs by 10% on $300 billion worth of Chinese goods. Okay, so that is what caused the sell-off that you see here. Okay, I was actually very, very surprised at how strong the market was early on today. So we had the big sell-off yesterday after the Fed rate announcement and Powell's speech, and the market took it all back today. We took it all back. I was shocked. Okay, honestly, guys, I was truly shocked how strong the market was early on. And I think we probably would have made new highs in the afternoon had it not been for the tariff news that took us down. So during lunchtime, I was actually looking at several long setups. I was looking at SPWR. I was looking at Ruby. I was looking at Shopify. There was a lot of stocks that had real strong mornings, and they held up above key support levels during lunchtime. And I was looking at them to potentially give me an afternoon move. That all got thrown right out the window. And guys, if you find yourself, if you're in a long trade or you're looking to get long and something happens that just completely tanks the market, you got to be really careful with those long setups, because as soon as this happened and as soon as the market just took this dip, went red on the day, I said I took that long game plan on those stocks I just mentioned. I crumbled it up and I threw it right out the window. Okay. Unless you're trading like a real low float small cap stock, or you're trading like a super cheap stock that trades like below $1 because it has news, because those will be less affected by a broad market sell-off like we had this afternoon. But if you're looking at like a mid cap or large cap, you got to be careful, guys, because they will tend to get sucked down with the rest of the market. Okay. So with that being said, the trade I made today is not necessarily because of an intraday setup or an intraday chart pattern that I saw. It's more along the lines of just like a broader kind of, assumption, I guess you would say, in the market, because you have to understand like what just happened in the market these last 2 days. Yesterday, we had a very high volume sell-off. Okay, very high volume aggressive sell-off yesterday. That then got bought back up. Okay, the market recovered that. You saw that yesterday and you saw that this morning. Then now today, we have another very high volume aggressive sell-off. And I'm thinking to myself, as we're getting down towards yesterday's low, I'm saying, man, I don't think the market's going to be able to just absorb 2 back-to-back days of real high volume selling pressure. I think we're going to go lower. So that was really the basis behind me jumping in some put options, and I do plan on holding these overnight. I am looking for a gap down tomorrow. I am looking for a test of the 50-day moving average. So I have about 20% of my position still, but I already locked in about a 67% gain. Okay, so let's get to the chart. I'll show you guys where it is that I made this entry, and it's right here. Okay, so right here you see yesterday's low. I was expecting there to be some support at yesterday's low. You had a little bit of temporary support at yesterday's low. We broke down below it, and then we bounced back up. I read this as this is going to be the bull trap, because everyone's looking to try to get long in front of yesterday's low, expecting there to be support there. I looked at this candle as just like a bull trap, and right at when we got up to test this trade line, you see this trade line held resistance during this like 45-minute down move. Right here, guys, is where I bought SPY put options. Okay, I'll take it to my trade announcements on the day. My screen has froze. Bear with me 1 second, guys. My screen has Just froze. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. My screen froze. I'm not sure why. It's been doing that lately. So here you guys can see I bought this buy 295 strike, August 2nd expiration at $1.37 per contract. Okay, that was right here. Then we roll back over that bull trap, just like what I thought. You know, sucked a bunch of longs in, roll it back over, make a brand new low. On the new low, I took my first profit off the table. Here you guys can see this is actually a typo, so it took some profit, 295.82, put option at 194. It was actually 184. Okay, so my first take profit was 184, not 194. This was a typo. Okay, then back to the chart, and then you can see we held that trade line again, rolled over again to new lows, and I sold the bulk of my position right there, okay, on this new low. Back to my trade announcements here, you guys can see took more profit off at $2.30. That's like a 60-something% gain. So it was a really nice trade so far, and I still have 20% of this position. I had 100 contracts. I've got about 20 contracts left, 21 contracts actually. So I'm just holding on to these to see if we get some follow through to the downside. I'm looking to see for us to gap below today's low and then get down to the 50-day moving average. Let me take it to the daily chart. All right, so I'm looking for us to get down and test this moving average right here down at 292. So like 292, 291.50, that's going to be my target area. I mean, look at this volume, guys. I mean, look at that. I just don't think the market's going to be able to absorb all of that selling pressure. That's why I went after this trade. It wasn't necessarily a like an intraday pattern. This just reminds me a lot of October. If I pan this over, let's go back to October. All right, these 2 days right there. Okay, you can see at the time those were two very high volume, above average selling pressure. When you look at July, August, September, October, okay, and that started this sell-off. And I just couldn't help but be like, man, like I don't know if we're going to be able to just, I mean, we're just going to absorb this. I mean, is the market just going to, I mean, are we really just going to do this and just like pretend like it never happened? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but I just feel with the selling pressure that's come in these last 2 days now, I feel like it's going to take a little bit for the market to absorb this selling pressure. And I think we're going to get down to possibly even 290. Okay, I think like 292 to 290. I think this is a very realistic target. But I need this to happen tomorrow because my options do expire tomorrow. So I'm looking for a gap down tomorrow below today's low and see if we can get that extension down to 292 to 290, and we'll see if we get it. All right, so I got about 20% of the position still working. All right, so that's it, guys. Nice day today. It was just the one trade for me. I'm very, very happy with it. I'm glad I was able to just switch things up on the fly like that. You've got to be able, you can't fall in love with a trade idea. You know, I liked Ruby, Shopify, SPWR. I liked them long, okay, during lunchtime to go into the afternoon. I was going to maybe look to get long them, look for an afternoon push. But as soon as this happened with the market, you got the tariff news and the market sold off. I took that game plan. I threw it right out the window. You've got to be diversified. You can't fall in love with a trade. You know, I could have just been stubborn and went long those stocks anyway because the chart setup looked good, but it wouldn't have worked out, okay, because they didn't give me the afternoon rally that I was looking for because the market sold off as aggressively as it did, okay? So don't try to fight the market if you're trading mid and large caps. You know, don't try to be long if the market's tanking. Don't try to be short if the market's exploding. If you're trading mid and large caps, it's a general rule of thumb that I try to follow to help prevent yourself from getting into trouble. All right? I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow. Take care.